Hey guys, today I have a stretching video. So we're gonna get right into it with a right leg lunge. So this is just gonna be like a full body stretching video, good for your legs, your arms, your stomach, everything in your body. So I actually did 15 seconds originally, but then I was like, we should be holding each one for like 20 or 30 seconds. So I kind of like slowed down the video. But anyway, now we're gonna open our right knee to stretch our right hip and lean down. Try to take nice long inhales and exhales. The most important thing about stretching is to really breathe deep and try to get lower with every exhale. I know it's painful for some of these exercises, but the more you breathe into it, it actually feels good sometimes. Trust me. So now we've straightened our leg and you want to try to reach your nose to your knee if you can. This is a really good hamstring stretch. And now we're back up. We're going to rock back and forth between bending our knee and straightening. This is called dynamic stretching as opposed to static stretching. So it's when you're actively moving your muscles and it warms them up so you can stretch even further. Now we're going to pick up our back leg, and you really want to tuck your tailbone underneath you so you can feel a good hip flexor stretch here. Also in your quads as well. Now we're going to flex in our foot to deepen the stretch in our hip flexor. My favorite part, now we're going to slide all the way down as far as you can go, as long as your hips are square, meaning they're not completely tilted to one side. It's completely okay if you're like 2 feet up in the air still. Just try to keep your hands on the ground to balance you. But now we're going to try arms out if you can, so you might want to tighten your muscles to try to keep yourself up. All right, you got one split down. Now we're going to go into the other leg with the same exercises. You got it. Try to keep those arms up. Next, we're going to go into a froggy stretch, which is going to prepare us for a middle split. So your legs are going to be open and you're going to bend your knees and try to lean back a little bit with your hips. Now we're going to do little rocking movements, again for the dynamic stretching to warm up our muscles even more. Now we're going to try our middle split. So I've been doing this a while. Don't worry if you can't just go into it like me. But you can also go with straight arms if your legs are still that high up on the ground, or you can also go on your elbows. And the furthest option is to go flat on your stomach with arms out in front. Yay, you get to shake out your legs, and we're gonna get ready for some ankle stretches. You're gonna take one leg and cross your ankle over your knee so it's hanging off, and then we're gonna start circles in one direction. Now we're gonna circle the other way. This feels really good for your hips. You're gonna reach up and lean forward. You're also gonna feel it in your hamstring. Now the same exercises on the other leg. We're gonna do a pike next, so you're just gonna straighten both of your legs, and now we're gonna flex our toes, meaning we point them to the ceiling, or flex them to the ceiling, and then point our toes, meaning you curl them as close as you can to the floor. Now we're gonna reach up and lean forward as close as you can to get your nose to your knees. And we wanna try keep our legs super straight. This is a really hard hamstring stretch, but you can do it. Make sure to breathe and try to lean in deeper on that exhale. All right, now we go up again and we're gonna flex our feet this time and try lean down. This may be a little harder, I know for me it is, because you really feel it in your calves and like Achilles, hamstrings, even more. But remember, breathe, breathe, and breathe. Next, you get a little break, and now we're gonna do straddle. We're gonna reach up to one side and try to get your nose again as close to your knee as possible. Okay, good job. Now the other side. Now for the middle, it's very easy for your knees to roll in, but again, we want to keep them to the ceiling so we really feel that inner thigh stretch. Okay, everybody's favorite, butterfly. So you're gonna bring your feet together and your knees are open, and we're gonna flap those wings. Now you're going to try to touch your nose to your feet. Hopefully they don't smell. And this should deepen your hip stretch. You also might feel it a bit in your back, which is a good thing. Go nice and slow and breathe deep. Now you're gonna push your feet slightly out to make a diamond shape and lean in again. This makes me feel the stretch a little higher in my hips. Now for our last butterfly, we're gonna bring our feet in as close to yourself as possible and bend over again. This next one's a fun one. So you're gonna go into a seated squat and you're just gonna do some wrist stretches so you can go back and forth, flip them upside down. You're also getting a little ankle and Achilles stretch here by going back and forth on your feet. Now we're gonna push out our knees, alternating sides. And again, this is really good for your hips. Our hips do a lot more for us than we think. They're involved in almost every action, especially sitting, standing, walking. So it's really good to spend a lot of time stretching them. Next, you're gonna go into a sumo squat and again, push out those hips, and you can also lean in your chest to one side to get a shoulder stretch. Now we're gonna do a cossack squat. I think that's what it's called. So you lean all the way down to one side and try to get your booty to the bottom as far down as you can and lean into it. It's gonna feel really good for your inner thighs, your outer. And now we switch sides. One of my favorites, we're gonna do a seal stretch. So you wanna push away from the floor and create space between your shoulders and your ears. And this is really good for your abs to elongate those muscles. If you're sore, this is the best ab stretch. Also, bridges are good for that. Now for a challenge, you're gonna try to get your head to touch your toes. Sadly, I'm no longer back flexible because of an injury, but this deepens the ab stretch. I'm just realizing how silly I look here. Right from there, we're gonna press back into a child's pose. So it's best if you have your knees slightly apart, so then you could create space for your hips to move back. Okay, next we're gonna roll our shoulders back and forth. Take your time, shake them out. And then we are going to reach one arm to the sky for a tricep stretch. So you're gonna pull your elbow almost back to your head. And for this stretch, it's important to keep your back as straight as possible. And switch sides. We're almost done. Next, we're gonna do downward dog. So that's when you press back almost into a standing pike, except your hands are a little further out in front of you. This next part feels really good. You're gonna pedal your feet and you're gonna feel it in your calves, in your Achilles, in your ankles. It's really good for stretching out your ankles. An even better stretch for your ankles is doing circles with them. So you're gonna go around and around. Make sure to not put your full body weight on your ankles. You kind of want to lean into your shoulders when you do the rolls. Now you're gonna walk your hands to your feet for a standing pike and try to get your nose again as close to your knees as possible. Your hands can be touching the floor, or if you want a challenge, you can hug your knees. Now we're gonna ragdoll up. So that's when you bend one vertebrae at a time pretty slowly. And I know you can't really see me, but you're gonna reach all the way to the sky and breathe in and out. Take your time and reach back down for another standing pike. Try to go a little deeper this time. Keep holding, you could do it. I know it feels hard, but your body will thank you later. Tomorrow, trust me, try a standing pike again, and you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I could go so far. All right, now we're gonna roll back up slowly again, one vertebrae at a time, and shake it all out, and that's it. Bye.